So these two love each other. Whereas the Digitakt lacks a bit of effect potential, this thing fills that void. And whereas the Microcosm, to my ear, lacks just a little bit of modulation possibility, this can cover all of that for you. So they are good friends. I'm going to start with this plucky sound that's happening on the 8th channel of the Digitakt. Here it is with some Microcosm. All right, I'm going to start out by sending some MIDI information from here to here. Specifically, I'm going to modulate parameters, these knobs, with the MIDI channels over here. Start with channel 9, my first MIDI channel. First thing I have to do is just open up which MIDI channel it's going to, which is 1. I'm using 1 for all of them, but this can be programmed to take other MIDI channels. I'm going to go in here, open up that value, and then here. And this is the important part. This is where I set the CC that this channel is communicating with to make things move over here. And so where you find that, download the manual, and near the end of it is all the CC values for this. And so I have a cheat sheet over here. I have my iPad open with the manual just to the left off screen. And so I'm going to have MIDI 9 controlling time. And the CC value for time is 10. So I'm going to set this to 10. So there you go. You can see the little number there is set to 10. And now I'm going to hit play. For some reason, you always have to hit this again just to make sure it gets started. Everything should be set up right. And now this is controlling this knob. It's setting time. And you can probably see, hopefully you can see in the video, the little tempo guy here is affected by that. And one thing I forgot to point out actually is that in the MIDI configuration, in order to make this work the way I'm working with it, you go to sync and you turn off clock send right here. I don't have that checked. That means I can be sending this value to time. And the reason I do that is so that I can have some modulation control over it. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the LFO for that channel. I'm going to send it to CC1. I'm going to randomize it. And that's probably a good rate for it. And I'm just going to set a degree to which it is randomized. So you might be able to see, this is going a little crazy now. It is not regular. If I turn it all the way off, it becomes a little more regular. But I'm going to do this so that the instances of the granulation are, to my ear, a little more organic than they were just as the preset was set up. Okay, next up, I'm going to control activity. So I'm going to go here again, open up the channel, open up that parameter, then I'm going to go here and set the CC, which I have to check. The MIDI CC for activity is 6, so I set this number to 6. I'm going to hit this again. Now I'm going to go over here, and I'm controlling activity. Very low, very high. I'm going to set it somewhere in the middle, and again, I'm going to send an LFO to it. So I set this to CC1 value. I'm going to leave this as a triangle wave actually, but I'm going to slow it down a bit. And I'm not going to make it too extreme. I'm just going to get a gentle sway, get this moving a little bit. It's like my third hand, or my fourth hand really. Okay, next up, I'm going to send to repeats. And so again, I'm going to go here, channel, here, value, and then I need to set the CC value. And the CC value for repeats is 11. So I find 11, I hit this again, now I go here, and I should be controlling repeats, which that's working because they've gone away. So I'm going to set that again somewhere in the middle, and again, I'm going to get an LFO controlling that. I'll go with sine wave this time. Again, I'll go fairly slow. And so now that's slowly moving this parameter for me. All right, so I still have, what, 5 more channels. I could send this to all kinds of things over here. I like to send it to the filter. I'm not going to do that right now for time's sake. I like to send it to the reverb level. Also not going to do that right now. But there's a lot of fun you can have getting this to control these things. But I'm just going to stick with what I have for now. Raw sound. And then I'm going to go fully wet. All right, and also I'm going to reverse this. I love the microcosm in reverse setting. Sounding beautiful. I have 2 other sounds headed in that direction, which I'm now going to unmute. Raw sound, microcosm. I'm going to turn off the plucky thing. So now it's just those sounds. Feeling real nice. Okay, so I have the audio routed in kind of a funky way. I have these 3 sounds going only to the right side. So that's passing a mono signal into the mono input of here, which then the effect on this is kind of adding a lot of stereo imaging really nicely. So that's what's happening there. I have everything else, which is a beat and a bass line, going purely to the left side here into this Echo Dream 2 for distortion and a little bit of delay. So I'm going to start bringing that in. I'm going to start on this side, and then I'm going to start bringing those sounds in as well. And the bass line. Raw sound. Sound back in. And have some fun with reverb and filtering. Modulation depth up of this.